Hey kids, it's Jurassic James. Jurassic James Explains. Looking at Gorgosaurus, or the fearsome, dreadful lizard. That's what the name means when you translate it in Greek. Gorgosaurus itself, basically, after the Gorgons, you know, the ladies with the snakes in their hair, kind of like Medusa's most famous one of all. That's the same root word. So the Gorgosaurus is a really important dinosaur. It's a tyrannosaurid from about 100, no, from, it's from 75 to 76 million years ago, and was first found in the Dinosaur Park Formation in Canada. We have since found Gorgosauruses in other parts of North America, but also want to point out that it is a very, very famous dinosaur in that many other genuses were thought to be Gorgosaurus, but now have their own names. Nanotyrannus being one of them, actually. And so, same rules apply, older right here, newer here. My first Gorgosaurus model here is a 2004 Safari. I remember this because this is not my first model that I have. That model's gone. This is the same model. And basically what happened when I had this one, I remember reading a paper saying that Gorgosaurus, they were arguing that Gorgosaurus and Albertosaurus, which are very closely related, that Gorgosaurus is actually a sub-name of Albertosaurus. They're the same genus. And I remember giving away my Gorgosaurus figure and then not understanding the full breadth of how science works. And the fact that, oh, someone said that, but other people argue against it, and et cetera, et cetera. And so I bought a new old one to represent that. But main points of this animal is a Tyrannosaur cousin. It's you know, and everyone says, oh, it's like a T-Rex, but that is applied to like Allosaurus, you know. In the dinosaur family tree, Gorgosaurus is actually closer to T-Rex. Now, within its family, it's not as close as T-Rex to other Tyrannosaurs, but it's a Tyrannosaur cousin. And my example is there are tigers, lions, and dogs, but bears. The Tyrannosaurus rex is like a grizzly bear, and the Gorgosaurus is like a black bear. They're very similar, but different. One's faster, for example. One's more powerful. The grizzly's more powerful. The black bear's fast. So, what's the big deal? The main thing to point out is it has its tooth. The characteristic Tyrannosaur two fingers is these two fingers right there on the hands. There on the feet are four toes. The Tyrannosaurs walk on the middle three, and the little one here on the inside, the first toe, is a dew claw, and there is no pinky. It's absorbed into the body. So usually a little bone right there under the skeleton, in the skeleton. And so the main thing to point out are these little horn structures here. That's why we know it's a Gorgosaurus, or at least closer to this guy than the Tyrannosaurus branch. My next Gorgosaurus model is from the Walking with Dinosaurs, but not that Walking with Dinosaurs. The one you're thinking about, or the one I'm usually thinking about, is the original, like, the British documentary that was in the 1990s. This is the one where they're talking. This is the Pechyrhinoceros story, and they show this guy here. Now, I'm thinking that northern Gorgosaurus was actually now renamed the Nuke, which is it's a different Tyrannosaur cousin that's for near Alaska. But the main thing to point out is I like that it has this iridescent, kind of like blue. Like, that's really cool. It has little horns. It's very lightly built, and, you know, compared to other, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And so I like it a lot. One thing I don't like about this toy is that the head pops off, like, very easily. That's just really annoying to me. But other than that, it's a neat little model. Oh, yeah, it does make a noise, doesn't it? I can't remember how, though. I think you squeeze it or something. I don't remember. The battery could be dead. So the point I'm trying to make is this guy is that it's more slender than a Tyrannosaur. You look at that. I'll get that close up to the face. Look at that right there. It's very different kind of animal, but very similar, you know, in the big picture. The next Gorgosaurus I have is this guy here. This is the Papo, and this is the one. This is my iconic one. This is what I'm using for my website picture for Gorgosaurus. For any kind of talks I do on Gorgosaurus, I bring this guy here. So again, really, really cool model. It has an articulated jaw like that right here. So like I said, this is out of my collection, this is the most accurate Gorgosaurus I have. I'm pretty sure PNFL makes one too, but in the meantime, I have this guy. And really, really cool model. And like I said, they're often depicted in groups. There's no fossil evidence of Gorgosaurus hunting in packs per se, but the thing is you find a lot of them together sometimes, so like that means they could either die together or they could have died separate places. You gotta watch them. That all falls under the science of taphonomy, like how between death and fossilization, how the animal dies, gets moved, carried around, broken apart, etc. The high point, of course, today is the reason I'm doing the video now was that there is a Jurassic World Gorgosaurus, and I saw it in the store, and I was like, what in the world is that? Because I realized that, yeah, the horns told me Gorgosaurus, the overall arm and body, but all the other stuff, I was like, yeah. So I'm getting the official scissors Jurassic James. My friend Harry says, everyone say, ooh, everyone say, ah. And so we're going to free the beast and discuss what's going on here. But I know this guy should be in stores, and let's wait for it. Oh, that's right where I cannot cut something. Let's just put that right in there. Darn it, it's tethered to the bottom of the box. which means it's going to get really, really noisy in a minute. Let's see here. Let's just reach under that. Nope, nope, nope. That means the ankle is tied in. Yes, okay. Some of the bigger toys have a plug to go through the foot of the toy, and this one just has another strap on the ankle. So I'm going to surgically put that in there and not break it or tear it or scratch it. So that'll be oh, come on, man. There. And is unboxing still cool? Let me know in the comments. I don't know, because that was a thing for a while. Oh wait, let me try. Let's see. Here's the box. Ooh, and the instructions. Look at that. Freeze frame. And so make sure I'm clear on all this. Oh, okay. So you push right there, and the mouth open. Oh, and look at that. That's so creepy. And then you push there, and that. Okay, that's weird. So what's going on here? That makes. So the first thing, I saw a theropod. I saw tiny arms. That wasn't a Bellasaur. That was not an Abelisaur. I was like, yay, because we've gone over enough Abelisaurs for a while. And I saw tiny arms. I saw the Tyrannosaur. I saw the horns. It must be a Gorgosaur because they already made a Bertosaurus. So what's going on here? You push that button and the tail does that. Because Gorgosaurus is known to drill through the earth like that and to come up from below to attack its prey. That's not true. I'm lying. What's going? I hope that doesn't get like cut or clipped. The idea is that this is all made up. The tail rotating like this is just a toy gimmick. What's going on here is that a lot of these animals, I mean, I'm pretty sure like a leopard, cheetah, and lion, they have different patterns or something, or different sizes, but overall they are very similar in appearance. And if you're selling in real life, but if you're selling toys, you got to make them look different. And so it makes this one weird. I like that you push here and the mouth open. That is really cool. Look at that. That'll be great play action for some child, human child. But the back scales rise up, which is neat as an idea. And let me get me wrong. Dinosaurs probably did all kind of weird, cool things that we just can't tell from pulp evidence. And so I'm not going to ever discredit it, but looking at Gorgosaurus, these are not things we found with it. I mean, in fact, they found skin impressions, and it shows these like scales and things that are not like this. This reminds me of a dragon. Now again, did Gorgosaurus or T-Rex or Allosaurus have some weird, cool thing? Who knows? Our current science can't tell that, but this is all made up for toy designers. Just know that. The feet are close enough. They have 3 toes going forward, a little dew claw on the side. Very good. 2-fingered hands. They're printed going like this. Very good. Again, it's interesting. A ringing endorsement from Jurassic James. It's interesting. It's like when I speak from my mind without thinking. But yeah, that's interesting. I get that this is a cool looking toy. Some kid, it's like, some kid who doesn't know science is like, oh, cool, other things. I just don't think it's real. But then again, I'd rather you buy Gorgosaurus Weird Powers than a D-Rex figure. So these are my 4 Gorgosaurus. What's really funny is that there's a hole in my collection right there. You can see where I pulled out the ones that I already had. Now, what's cool about Gorgosaurus in the bigger picture? Let's see. First and foremost, the first specimen was in the Dinosaur Park Formation, which is in Canada. Huge formation of rock. Lots of dinosaurs found there. Really, really popular site. The animals that I'm going to use my official one. The animals that are found with Gorgosaurus, or at least in the same strata, would be Edmontonia and Euplocephalus. We have Chasmosaurus. This is a Jurassic World one because my Safari Chasmosaurus is kind of small. So there's actually Centrosaurus, another horned dinosaur, which I don't have. A very famous horned dinosaur I don't have. Gryptosaurus here. And I forgot to mention who made these figures. So that's why my little lamp here, because the lights. Oh, it's getting dull. It's getting dull. There we go. So this Gryptosaurus is 2018 because it's the name of the dinosaur. Not the name. I don't need the name. The year it's made. It's this weird pattern, the same color, and I'm getting older. Corythosaurus. This is my first Corythosaurus actually. I remember this guy. Let's see, 2000 and wait for 1991. Oh, look at that, from the 1900s, very long ago. This Corythosaurus, Parasaurolophus. This is from Target. It's a Betan company. Yes, and Walker Ice, so Parasaurolophus, and of course a PNSO Lambeosaurus I have here. Ooh, very fancy. And then the other thing, now the other dinosaur from this formation in the same layer of rock would be the Spinosaurus. Now, what's really neat about the Spinosaurus, I already did a video on the Spinosaurus. I'm waiting for Jurassic World to make their own. I mean, it's going to be awful, I'm sure. But these guys are found in the same formation. Now, what's really neat about that is two things. One, you don't normally find two Tyrannosaurs. Well, not Tyrannosaurs. We don't normally find two Tyrannosaurs in the same area. So the argument is that they must have niche partitioning. What's that? I'm glad you asked. Niche partitioning means their job in the environment, they're eating different things. The assumption was initially that with the Spinosaurus, even though they're similar size, is bigger, slightly bigger, it's eating the horned dinosaurs, ceratopsians, and that the faster, smaller Gorgosaurus is eating the hadrosaurs, who are faster and smaller. But then they found some Spinosaurus with a bunch of hadrosaur bones, and a hadrosaur inside the gut of the Spinosaurus. So that's something. Hypothesis versus reality. And so I'm pretty sure there's crossing over. But my analogy is in Africa, how we have a lion, big game for the most part, leopards hunting from trees, cheetahs are fast-paced animals, right? They're all very similar, close related animals, very similar skeletons actually. But if you look at them, their lifestyles are very different. So something like that must be going on in this situation. That being said, we're going to move our hadrosaurs. And then, oh, who fell? Okay, and then finally we're going to go over to its family. So, I mentioned Gorgosaurus being more widespread. And there's a video already on Tarbosaurus. So here's a Jurassic World Tarbosaurus. That was a video from like 2 years ago. Here is the, well, let's see. I think this is like lights and shadows and stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. Collect a 09. So our 09 Tarbosaurus figure, my official, right? Is that? Yeah. Yeah. Other than the Jurassic World, this is my official Tarbosaurus. And so there's this guy compared to that guy. And then we have Albertosaurus. Now the official one I have here is the Pianosaurus. Thank you, my friend Jim, for reminding me of this one. Did a video on Albertosaurus already. I think I probably did two at this point. No? Oh, we're going to balance them like that. Now, Albertosaurus is considered to be one of the closest relative to Gorgosaurus. And of course, here's my Papo T-Rex. Very iconic figure. And again, a Jurassic World T-Rex. There you go. So, not all quite the scale, but you get the idea. Now, why is this important to you and I? Because Gorgosaurus here has its Jurassic World counterpart. So you can see the world of difference between these two animals. I mean, I'll try to use like this example and that example, right? The important thing here is the Spinosaurus. I mean, to me, some of the most famous Tyrannosaurs, at least the oldest known Tyrannosaurs in modern, like known by scientists, are T-Rex, Tarbosaurus in Asia, Gorgosaurus, and Albertosaurus. So the Spinosaurus is on that list too. So it's only a matter of time before Jurassic World has their own Spinosaurus. Will it have spikes? Will its tail rotate? Who knows? But I will probably do a video on it because I'm a sucker for Jurassic World figures. What's really interesting to me, and I will say this ideal concept, is that Jurassic World's toy line, Mattel, has been making dinosaurs this year round. There's a new wave of new species at all times. I'm actually 6 months behind. I have several toys from like June I have not opened yet. But in the movies, they use like the same 7 dinosaurs and then hybrids and mutants. Like your toy line's already making dinosaurs constantly. Just add those weird species in the movie. Anyway, let's see. So that's everything about this Gorgosaurus. This is just a lot to take in. I mean, the skin on the side here, that looks nice. I like the skin of the legs. That's really cool. The skin right along there. It's just these giant armor-plated scales are not things we associate with Tyrannosaurus or any dinosaur, really. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for tuning in.